for Salih alayhi salam. A camel from a rock, a living creature from solid stone, that is Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who, with the signal of the blessed hand of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, split the moon. The moon, that massive celestial body in the sky, split into two right there in front of the eyes of the Quraysh. That is Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who, when Ibrahim alayhi salam was thrown into the fire, when his own people and the king of his time tried to destroy him in the most horrifying way they could think of, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed the fire directly. He said, Kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Be cool and be a means of safety for Ibrahim. He gave an order to fire, to fire. And fire, which has no choice, which has no will, which simply does what its nature dictates, responded to the command of Allah. It became cool, it became safe. Ibrahim alayhi salam walked out of that fire unharmed because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the fire not to burn him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who, when Isa alayhi salam was in danger, when those who disbelieved and those who plotted against him were closing in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised him alive, took him up to himself, rescued him in a way that no human being could have planned or executed or even imagined. That is Allah. And these stories are not just history. They are not just interesting accounts from the past that we read and say, yes, that was a long time ago, things are different now. No. These stories are in the Quran precisely because they are meant to teach us something about who Allah is right now, in this moment, in your life, in your situation. The same Allah who commanded fire to be cool for Ibrahim alayhi salam, He is the same Allah you are asking tonight. The same Allah who brought a camel from a rock, He is the same Allah who can change your situation. The same Allah who raised Isa alayhi salam when people were plotting against him. He is the same Allah who can protect you from every plot, from every scheme, from every person who wishes you harm. This is the one we are asking. This is the one who sustains and protects everything, everything. Every single thing in this creation, from the largest galaxy to the smallest particle, is sustained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing exists except by His permission. Nothing continues to exist except because He wills it. That is who you are turning to when you make dua. Not a limited being, not a being who sometimes has the power and sometimes doesn't. Not a being who needs to be in a good mood to help you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His power is constant, His ability is absolute, His treasures are without limit, and His mercy is beyond anything we can comprehend. There is a little bird, the black-capped chickadee, a tiny little creature, barely the size of your fist. And this bird, it lives here in the northeastern parts of North America through the winter. Now, if you have never experienced winter in that region, you may not appreciate what that means. Minus 20 degrees Celsius, sometimes lower. Ice everywhere, snow everywhere. The entire world from one end to the other is frozen solid. And this tiny, tiny bird, smaller than your hand, it does not migrate. It does not fly south to warmer weather the way many other birds do. It stays right there through the entire winter in the ice and the snow and the freezing cold, and it survives. Every winter, it comes out the other side safe and sound with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No doctor is treating it, no government is providing it with food and shelter, no organization is running a program to keep it warm. It is just a tiny bird. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking care of it, giving it what it needs to eat, giving it the instinct to find warmth, giving it the physiological mechanisms to withstand cold that would kill a human being in minutes. That little bird is in many ways smarter than us because it completely and totally relies on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has no illusion of self-sufficiency. It does not think it is managing on its own. It is simply living fully dependent on its creator. And Allah provides, Allah protects, Allah sustains. And this is the one you are asking. So ask with confidence, ask with certainty, ask with the full knowledge that the one you are asking is not limited by what you can see or what makes sense to you or what seems possible by human standards. He is not limited by any of that. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Find the most impossible thing that you can think of and ask Allah. Your health that the doctors have given up on, ask Allah.